In a previous video, we talked about releasing the assignments through lessons. This video, we want to focus on the other part of setting up your week's content, and that is setting up your discussion forum to be released. As we scroll down through here, you'll notice in the navigation pane the discussion board and journals and so forth. They have a little square with a slash through it. That icon means that in the navigation for the students, they won't be able to see that. The students can access the discussion board through the lessons. So what we want to do here is go to the discussion board page and say, for example, we want to set up a week to be released. Now, by default in this particular master, all the forums are hidden or unavailable to the student. So the next thing we want to do is make one available. So week 3 discussion, we're going to set it up to be released. As with before, you click on the downward pointing chevron, and then we would select Edit. From the Edit Forum page, the description, some instructors may put the instructions for the students there and what they're being discussed, as well as having the assignment. But just to kind of keep things clean, in this course we've left it blank. Form availability. As was shown earlier, it's not available, so we want to change that where it will be available to the students, and we want it to display after a particular day. So we go back and we change our month, and for the month of June we want this to release on the 20th, and this is week 3 at 12 a.m. The other checkbox typically is not used unless you want that form to re-hide at the end of the week. But typically, as a good practice, you don't hide the discussion forum, because there may be posts that you or another student may have to issue just as a cleanup for the discussion of that week. The standard view is the default. Grading, the default is no grade for the forum. So if you go in and you're going to assign points, you need to change that radio button to grade the discussion for possible points, and then set them out the point value in the text box. You can also show participants that need grading after so many posts, and that would show up in the needs grading. You can also assign a grading rubric as shown here. In this case, the discussion grading rubric has been made available, and we've set that to yes, so the students can see what the criteria will be at the start of the week, and then once it's graded, to see the feedback from the instructor. We can also allow students to subscribe to a forum or a thread. By default, do not allow subscriptions as set, but if you set the allow students to subscribe to the forum, you can either have a link in the email, or you can have the body of their post in the email with the link, and that gets delivered to whoever subscribed to that forum. For example, as an instructor, I can subscribe that, and that helps me keep up with the discussion forum during the week. The advantage to the student is they don't have to think, oh, well, I need to go log in. They can keep their discussion participation going all the way through the week, just by a little bit at a time as they get posted, versus going in and say, oh, I've got 80 posts I need to read and possibly respond to. So this is beneficial to the students as well as the instructors. Allowing the author to edit their own posts, they can go ahead and make corrections. You can also allow them to create new threads. Typically, that's how you want that set up, unless you're going to go in and set up the thread for each week's content. We can also allow file attachments, and we can also allow the user to reply with quotes and so forth. And then we can also have them rate posts. For this case, we don't want them to rate posts. We can just clear that checkbox And force moderation is if you want to review all posts before they actually go to that. Does that get used? Not very much at all that I'm aware of. But it is an option that you have available. So once you have everything set for this page, we submit, and that's going to set up that week. Notice that it's not available, but it will display after Friday the 20th of June at 12 a.m. So after that time frame passes, any student logs on will have availability to that and be able to post. And that's one of the keys, because you have the two areas. As an instructor, you have to make sure both areas are ready to go at the beginning of the week. And it's sometimes easy to forget. If you're in a rush, you may set up one area and get distracted and not get the other area done. You can also see the number of your forums here. If there's posts, the green means that there are new unread posts in that particular forum. You can also grade from here. So when we come in to grade for a week, we can select grade, and that's going to take us over to that. But we'll do a separate video on grading discussion forums to make it a little bit easier for manageable as far as watching the videos. This should have your discussion board set up for the week.